I imagine, and I know a couple of priests who've told me that in the wake of things like the sex abuse scandal, they've gone from a position in society where they're held in some reverence. One's told me about how you can walk down a street in Dublin and be spat at now. There has been this dramatic change. That's not what we're talking about here, is it? We're not talking about hostility. We're talking about fatalities. We're talking about people being killed for their faith. Absolutely.
We're not just talking about people being killed. We're talking about communities being destroyed. Churches are being torn down. In fact, there's been a 500% increase in the number of churches being attacked around the world. And the persecution is taking another level. It's going online now. So countries like China and India are using facial recognition and artificial intelligence to track down, to identify and discriminate against Christians. We're seeing this, and thank you to Father Ashington for pointing out, in mostly Islamic and communist countries. And this is because we're so afraid to point out that not all cultures are equal, not all values are equal, not all moral values are the same. And we are ashamed of our Christian heritage, our Christian past in this country, to our own detriment. And we talk about, all of these countries, we're seeing a map on the screen right now, all these countries around the world are persecuting Christians today, but it's happening at home. We had a positive story last week of a Catholic nurse, Mary Anua, who was bullied out of her job. She'd worked for the NHS for 18 years. She was bullied out, but she won, thank goodness, in a tribunal. She wore a cross on her necklace, and she got bullied out of her job for wearing a cross, where other people in the workplace, Hindus could wear bracelets, Muslims could wear hijabs, but if you're a Christian, you're an easy target, and that's in this country.
Calvin, can we just unpack? We haven't got long, but I just want to unpack that a little bit. I just wonder whether in this country, the reason we don't talk about this very much is because Christianity, by some people, and I'm thinking on the wokeward end of the spectrum, see Christianity as a sort of a one-time instrument of colonial oppression.
Yeah, absolutely they do. And it's like everything in our history at the moment. We're only allowed to look at the negative impacts of it. We're not allowed to look at the positive. Christianity the church founded most of the schools, the state schools in this country, and as Father Ashington pointed out, hospitals and charities too. But we are obsessed with woke ideologies at the moment. Even the church itself, just today, the Archbishop of York promoted racial discrimination. He said that every House of Bishops meeting must have at least 10 black or ethnic minority people in it. They're going to co-opt them onto the boards. This is positive discrimination or affirmative action. I don't believe there is such thing as a positive discrimination. Discrimination is discrimination. But this is how woke we've become. Even the church itself is not bothered about persecution. It's focusing on superficial diversity and ticking the right identity crisis boxes.